Today, the NMRO All-Stars travel to Sedalia, where Show Me State native Ron Pence defends his turf against Oklahoma's Paula Harbuck, the 1990 Cut Tire champion, and a Midwest contingent headed by one of the toughest guys on the indoor circuit, Tom Martin. Coming up next, we'll see who survives the Great Missouri Raid. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the All-Stars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Midwest Nationals. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today we come to you from the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia for the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Midwest Nationals. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee, and remember what great action this facility served up last year in the monster truck competition. As the rain and wind began kicking up, Kurt Dabney took a wild ride in Nightmare, barrel rolling a 10,000-pound truck. And as you may recall, the event was called shortly thereafter because of the weather. And the day before, young Chris Fadling in his Jeep, Just Do It, may have ended up regretting his actions here as he got in all kinds of trouble and had this violent rollover. But thankfully, both drivers walked away uninjured. So what kind of excitement might we anticipate today as the best in the NMRO gather in the Show Me State for side-by-side mud racing competition? Now let's go trackside to my colleague, Army Armstrong, who is standing by with a guy that would hope to have these guys and gals on their collective feet when this day is over.
Well, Gary, we're in the pit area with the past world champion, Ron Pence, in the Tater vehicle out of Missouri. And Ron has, in Class 5 competition, literally dominated the sport. Now, you got to remember, between Class 5 and Class 6, the only basic difference is changing the tires. So I'm going to ask you, Ron, real quick, why does your vehicle seem to handle so well and dominate with the cut tires and has good days and bad days with the scooper tires?
I don't know. It's hard for us to figure out sometimes. We would like to get it running good in both classes, and I just can't get it figured out why it won't run as good in 6 as it has been in 5.
Okay, one of the observations that I've made to our TV audience is, and this is just my belief, is that the tires, the engine combination, a lot of people have that. I think that you might have a secret between the engine and the tires. I'm thinking the drivetrain, you've got something that you're not telling anybody about. Do you have something there that other people aren't aware of?
Well, we may have a little different gear ratio or something like that. You know, everybody runs a different combination, more or less, and this one seems to work for us.
Are you going to tell us what that gear ratio is?
Well, not right now.
Nice try, Army. As we get ready for competition, we can tell you that Ron Pence just a couple of weeks ago set a national record of 2.55 at 180 feet. Now, keep in mind, today's pit is 5 feet shorter. 2 passes, they'll swap lanes, track conditions, slippery with a greasy starting line.
Gary, that 5 feet can make all the difference in the world because the word greasy on the starting line. If they cannot get the horsepower to stick in the first 5 feet, they're in big trouble.
First, we take a look at Mama's Nightmare. That is Eric Echterling. And as the 79 Ford Courier pulls up the line, Army can tell you about the tech inspection all these vehicles in competition must go through before they compete.
Gary, as in any form of motor racing, before you can go to the starting line, you've got to go through another line. In this case, it's a safety inspection line. Now, the National Mud Racing Organization, NMRO, has set a standard of rules, specifications that all vehicles must meet. This particular vehicle is going through the inspection. The inspection is being held by the Mid-Missouri Off-Roaders Club. That's the case that every jamboree, a host club, will get involved in the safety inspection. What they do, they check the height of the vehicle to make sure it meets minimum height standards. They check welds on the vehicle. They check shields on the vehicle. There are no gray areas. These rules are black and white for safety. They're not dealing in any gray areas at all. Once the club members are satisfied that the vehicle meets the safety standards, they will literally sign off on it. At that point in time, the driver can leave the inspection line and go to the starting line. Back to you, Gary.
And Army Echterling will draw Fred Wilhite in this first pass. Fred drives the money pit, the old Fiat.
Well, I tell you what, old Will Height is on a roll. He is doing something right. He's found the combination of the Decatur, Illinois native, showing me he could be a strong runner this year.
Now, once again, the pit length, 175 feet, short by 5 of what we're normally used to in these jamboree events.
Well, look at Will Height.
Oh, look at the run he lays down. 244. 244. Talk about throwing down the gauntlet, boys.
That greasy start line didn't bother that rascal one bit. Look at this. Man, he leaves like he's coming out of a slingshot.
Well, Well, that's the run you have just seen. Now, we want to go back and show you the run from yesterday. In fact, he was first out of the box yesterday, laid down a 3:045, which was quick for the day, but because of a timing problem, it was never made official. So he's had a great weekend. And Army, I want you to go by and talk to Fred now.
Same deal, different day. You're first out of the box, sitting there with a 244, but today they got 2 shots to get you.
Yeah, I wish that time was here and it was over with, but I think there's some big dogs out there hunting for me.
Let me ask you this. You also have another run to make. Can you go quicker than the 244? Can you bump yourself a little bit deeper into this field?
I think this first draw has got me a position that might hold up pretty good. When we go back for my second pass, the lanes are going to be pretty chopped up. I'm going to try, but I don't know.
And speaking of a big dog, there's a look at Tater and Ron Pence. He'll be coming up when we come back to Sedalia, Missouri.
I think Tom's probably about right in the groove here.
Welcome back to the Allen County Fairgrounds in Lima, Ohio, as Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Spring Nationals, a part of the BF Goodrich Performance Series. I'm Gary Lee alongside Army Armstrong as we take a look at Mud Tough. That's Gary Fain from right here in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, but Gary, also out of the Show Me State from Grandview, Missouri, Jim McConville. They call him Mr. Four-Wheeler. Now, yesterday he took a ride that will give you some idea of just how tough this sport is. He is hooking left, hooking right, trying to bring it around, and was disqualified on this run. He could not hold it in bounds, if you will, if there is such thing as inbound in this sport, Gary.
Well, once again, a time to beat a fast one, 2:44. Just laid down by Fred Wilhite.
Watch McConville on the other end. Boy. Fain laid down a good shot.
Good ride for Fain, 269. McConville had his trouble, and he was disqualified again. Second time this weekend. Let's take a look.
McConville is a gentleman attributed with bringing the supercharged engine into the sport. Like we say, he's a traveling pro. This is what he does for a living. But Mr. Fain wasn't intimidated a bit. He went out there and laid, oh, there it is. He ran over the cone. That was what disqualified him right there.
Well, here is a guy that can certainly do it. He holds the national record at 180 with a pass of 2.55. This is Ron Pence in Tater. And he is a veteran from the Show Me State, Fredericktown.
He's involved in the oil exploration business with his brothers. He's going up against Paula Harbuck, the young lady out of Oklahoma.
And Paula's gone back to her old truck body style, and she says she's more comfortable in it.
I never did get my confidence up in the open car. I just couldn't see well out of it. I can get in this one, and it's like driving a car down to the grocery store. You can see everything that's going on, and I feel more comfortable. In the other one, I sat at an angle back, and I never could see my front tires. I just really couldn't see where I was going that well, and I just didn't have the confidence.
Yeah, you drive that to the grocery store, you'll get your eggs and milk muddy.
And your milk ain't going to warm up on you before you get home either.
All right, we resume the action now between the 1990, 91, and 92 Cut Tire champion, Paula Harbuck, and Ron Pence. Both have trouble getting those slowed down. Paul is disqualified.
You know, the drive.
Ron's 263.
The pit's looking good. Where they seem to be having trouble at this track is when they come out of the pit for some reason. Look at the gyrations of these vehicles. The runs are not straight by any means, but when they come out of the pit.
Well, Paula Harbuck was disqualified right there, so Pence, not perhaps the run he'd like to have, and he's standing by with Army.
A 263 puts you second after the first round. You got one more run coming. Can you better your time? Is there any quicker times available in the track in the second round for you and anybody?
Well, we're always trying for a quicker time and hoping for one.
Is there such a thing as a good lane and a bad lane today?
It looks like there is. It's about the same as it was yesterday, I think. Probably the left lane should be better than the right lane.
All right, well, Ron will have one more shot, and he'll be shooting at Fred Wilhite's 2.44. Ron Pence is second at 263, and Gary Fain now third at 269. A whole lot more side-by-side mud racing coming up from Sedalia, Missouri. Stay with us on Trucks and Tractor Power. Welcome back to the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia, where Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Midwest Nationals, a part of the BF Goodrich Performance Series. These jamborees offer a host of activities for the truck lover as well as the entire family. To find out more, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. We'll take a look now at some round one highlights. A battle of the Mud Patrol vehicles. Two vehicles with the same name. One driven by Tom Martin out of Portage, Indiana.
And the other one driven by another Tom. But Martin comes out with a relatively new chassis trying to get the balance right. He goes at 281. He's going in the right direction with his Mud Patrol. Meanwhile, Mintz comes out of Paxton, Illinois with the Mud Patrol. But right on the starting line, disaster struck him as he shelled a transmission as soon as he went to the throttle, Gary.
I like your terminology, shelled a transmission. That's an expensive shell. Tom Marsh out of Vandalia, Ohio, up near Dayton in the Intruder. He goes against Bill Hazelwood in the Mud Spider.
These guys rock and rolled big time. Hazelwood, new vehicle out of Texas, had a little problem. Marsh zoomed it out the other end with a 305. Big top end charge by him. Meanwhile, we go right back to the next round. They got to switch lanes, and a 244 is a quick time held by this man right here.
You heard him say it'd be difficult to better that because of the lanes being chopped and churned up.
Exactly.
As we take a look at Eric, his first pass, the time there. So the guy to beat once again is the man right there in the money pit, Fred Wilhite at 244.
This will be a barometer of what the track is going to do. Oh, look at here.
247.
It's a for real deal. Check, this guy could be sitting first and second.
And Eric's run at 5.24. Take a look again. He gets her on top of the mud.
Well, the lane change didn't bother him one bit.
So two excellent rides for Fred Wilhite, and he's with Army Armstrong.
A 247, 300 slower, but really, I know it doesn't pay out this way, but you're sitting first and second right now.
I'll take that, but the Opry ain't over till the fat lady sings.
She's wailing right now.
I've seen a few of them out there going.
Oh, I'm not even going to comment on that. Dave Check will be next up in his homemade creation, the Runnin' Wild, with Mike Hickerson in Mind Games.
Mike Hickerson earlier in the year took one of the runs that we all remember where we got a good chance to look at the bottom of that vehicle. He's just switched over to this engine combination. Chick doesn't travel the national circuit with us. He's giving away a whole lot of horsepower to these traveling pros. Whoa!
Hang on! Mike, another wild ride at 262, and he gets a load as he gets that half-mile dirt track.
Gary, he's going to really like that car when he learns how to drive it, won't he?
He is spectacular. Certainly has the horsepower. When he gets it all hooked up, he'll be a factor.
Man, that's his brute power sticking to the ground. Look at that. Oh, back in the throttle.
You'll have to detune that just a bit. Let's talk to Mike Hickerson.
Remember I told you about this button? I had a sticker on it that says to raise front end, push button. It still works.
I bet you almost got a blister on your thumb from pushing that button. Hey, you just went second quickest on two wheels.
Oh, man. I felt the front end come up, I let out, got back in it, and it come right back up. In Army, we spent a lot of time in the shop here in the past 2 weeks trying to stop that problem. And it just, every time I run it, it surprises me. I'm running out of ideas.
A whole lot of horsepower as we take a look at the Jeep belonging to Gary Fain. This is Mud Tough.
Gary came out of that first pass. Yeah, with the 269, he was sitting in the top three after the first round. Meanwhile, the old pro himself comes out. Now, he's got to pull a trigger. He's a pro. He does it for a living. He has no time from the first round. If you are going to play a trump hand, this is the hand to do it in right here. Watch from McConville. I'm not going to say he's going to do something weird. I guarantee he'll give you a ride in that far lane. Look at this. Whoa!
You're right, all right. Look at this. Side for side about 2.5 times. And gingerly he reaches back up to the visor. The ambulance there almost immediately. The safety crew on board. He is still in the cockpit. Oh, he went side for side about 2 times.
Yeah, and his arms got out a little bit, too. That scared me. Gary, I'm working my way down the top end. I'll get back with you as soon as I got a report to give you.
All right, we'll check back with you momentarily. You get down to Jim and see if he's okay. We take a look again. Now, watch as Army alludes to the arms at the point the car turns over. It hooks right here, starts to barrel roll, and watch the arms come out of the protective roll cage. These guys do not normally wear the arm restraints that we would see in racing like sprint cars and midgets. And there is a look at a bloody nose and probably counting some fingers right now. He took a pretty good rap on the inside of that roll cage. Let's take a look one more time. Right lane. Now, as we've told you before, the pits are good. The problem is not so much in the mud or in the pit itself. He's actually exiting the pit, and right here, he's on the brakes, tucks the left rear, and barrel rolls about, what, 2-3 times, each time slamming his head. Let's go trackside for an update. Army?
Gary, right now we are standing at the end of the track, and as you can see, the EMTs are down here. The fire crews are right with us. They brought the jaws of life out. Jim is climbing out of the vehicle. Tremendous amount of chassis damage to the vehicle. But I can't say enough about the safety crews here. They were right on the spot. The EMTs are checking him out. He's putting on his trademark golfer cap. So McConville, it looks like he's going to have to wait for another time and another day. But this gets back to what we were talking about earlier about these safety inspections. This vehicle was built to safety specifications. It took a nasty flip. But the most important thing is the driver was not hurt. Back to you, Gary.
Army, we have seen Jim win before here on Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today, though, his competition results in a violent side-for-side barrel roll. He is helped out of his wrecked racer. Takes the long, slow walk back to the ambulance for that mandatory checkup. But he'll be all right, and we'll come back with more competition from Sedalia, Missouri. We are back in Sedalia, where we've just witnessed a very violent altercation involving Mr. Four-Wheeler Jimmy McConville, and he's standing by with Army Armstrong.
Jim, real quick, I'm glad to see you're okay. Do you have any idea what caused that?
Well, I sure don't, not right now.
When you get home, when you're driving down the road tonight, will this thing eventually come back to you? I know you got your bell rung. You got beat up real bad. The camera crew just called us and said it was amazing how your arm was flapping around inside that car. Were you aware that your arms were flapping at all?
No, I didn't know what was going on.
Well, I tell you what, I was sure glad to see you come out there and put that old golf cap on. That's a trademark that you're back to 100%. Hope you have a better day next time.
All right, thanks, man.
And hopefully that some of these drivers will consider using arm restraints in the future after seeing this altercation with Jim McConville. We are ready for our final matchup featuring Ron Pence in Tater. There's his first pass at 263. He will pull alongside the hard times entry of Doug Marsh.
Doug Marsh is one of these guys. If he was a tap dance, he'd practice in a minefield. He does not know what the word fear is. He will come out and go after you in a heartbeat. He won a 309 in the first round. He has got to do something spectacular in this round to get up into the money. That's the one closest to it. The time he's trying to beat, 2:44.
And Pence has...
Oh, no.
Another upside down. Another driver upside down. Doug Marsh, he's moving around in the cockpit, trying to collect his senses right now, finding out where he is. He's saying, hey, guys, I'm okay. Let's look again.
Coming out of the pit, Gary. I wonder what it is.
Well, maybe just a bit of a lip right there. Of course, he's starting to turn sideways. That's the problem. He's sideways right there before he ever gets out of the pit. Barrel rolls one time, 1.5 times, comes to rest on top that roll cage. He grabs the cage. He is okay, but he's obviously had his bell rung. There is the damage to the front of that racer, and he is now out of the car and walking around.
The old bell ringer was busy in Missouri this week, wasn't he?
One more look. Now, notice he gets in trouble before he comes out of the pit. He's
but when
sliding right down here and hooks what we'd say in sprint car racing. He hooks a rut, tucks that left rear under, and goes over 1.5 times. But once again, he is all right, and let's go back trackside to Army Armstrong.
Doug, it looked to me like you were just making a straight run. What caused it to let go like that?
I don't know. I was just getting ready to let out when I come out the end, and all at once it just spun sideways and started rolling.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's happened before. It'll happen again. But I ain't quitting.
Well, Gary, it's kind of interesting. As I walked away, he said he wasn't quitting, but I want you to notice his eyes. You sprint car guys are going to notice, called it red eye. He did get a whack, and he'll be feeling it on the way home tonight, I guarantee you that. Gary, once again, back to you on a day of devastation out of the Show Me State.
He'll have some racing rheumatism tomorrow. As we take a look at the final standings today, the quickest 2 runs turned in by Fred Wilhite at 2:44 and 2:47. Mike Hickerson then at 2:62, and Ron Pence at 2:63. So let's go back down to Army Armstrong and our victor, Fred Wilhite.
Gary, in racing, someday it's a whole lot better to be lucky by the luck of the draw than it is to be good. Man, just to roll out of here with your wheels on the ground puts you ahead of a lot of guys today. Congratulations on the win, but it was a spooky day, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of good friends out there who tore up a lot of good equipment and stuff. I'm just glad my car went straight, and the luck of the draw did help me.
You know, sometimes I think this place may have been built over an Indian burial grounds. It seems like there's all kind of problems happen when we roll in Sedalia, Missouri.
That's true.
So once again, Sedalia has put a big hurt on many of our competitors, but we're happy to say that both Doug Marsh and Jim McConville appear to be okay. And our congratulations to that guy right there, Fred Wilhite, for his victory in the Money Pit. So for Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
Here's another dramatic classic from Diamond P. It's And They Walked Away 3. That's right. By calling 1-800-792-6464, you get the latest installment of this all-time best-selling series, capturing motorsport's most perilous moments yet. Stock cars tangle and tumble on the oval high banks. Drag racers experience terrifying infernos. Sprint cars dance too close and pay the consequences, and much more. And in each breathtaking incident, the driver beats the odds. To order with credit card, call 1-800-792-6464 or send check or money order for $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address in your screen. That's 1-800-792-6464. And while you're ordering, pick up on the Trucks and Tractor Power t-shirt. The design features monstrous mud and pulling right from the TV show. Call 1-800-792-6464.